We're in Morganwood for Superbowl. The Indianapolis Colts and Chicago Bears about to kick off in an hour from now. It's February 4th, 2007. Today's menu is going to be Louisiana-style gumbo. The gumbo is typically made with chicken or andouille sausage, or crab and shrimp and andouille sausage. I like to mix it all together. A little crab, a little shrimp, andouille sausage, chicken. It's delicious. We're going to get started on that right away. Enjoy the game. Andouille sausage, you can see it's a nice big sausage there. I like to cut it down the middle first, like this. Notice I'm using a thicker meat knife here. And then sort of separate them like this, and I'm going to put them in quarters, like this. I'm going to cut these in kind of nice big chunks. Not too big, I want everything to be about the same size. Washed off the celery. I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stalks. Not critical. Whatever you have. Again, I'm going to take this very carefully, just split this down like this to get the size piece of celery that I want. I'm going to chop this up, kind of mimic the size of the andouille sausage right here. There we go. How to cut a bell pepper. Slice it down this way. Take out the core. Like that. Cut off the bottom. Such. So we'll just carve away like that. So you get rid of those seeds. Next, we're cutting up some onion. I do want to mention though that you saw all the scraps that were left over from the bell pepper and the celery. I threw them into my stock that I have cooking over on the stove. With these scraps of onion, everything will go in there into the stock. Chopping the onion. Start with the onion like this. Make some slices the size you want the thickness of the dice to be. Then I slice this way and just slice away. Okra is a nice little addition to this dish. I was lucky enough to get fresh ones. Usually you find them frozen already cut if you can't find the fresh one. But I didn't got them today, so great, we'll use these. I don't put these until the very end because they fall apart. They tend to be a little bit gummy if they fall apart, if they cook too long. They do act as a little bit of a thickener for the dish. To show you the stock. And today I used chicken stock because that's what I had. There's a ham hock in there, and you can see all the little bits of celery, bell pepper, and onion, and everything else that we had left over. So these are the ingredients that we've chopped up. Just got done chopping the chicken. Over here we have the okra, the 1 chopped onion, 1 bell pepper, several stalks of celery, pound of crab meat, rock shrimp, and a ½ pound of andouille sausage, all chopped up about the same size. So what we're going to do is we're going to season the chicken now. You take your cut chicken, throw it in a Ziploc bag, 2 tablespoons of salt, a tablespoon of garlic powder, and a tablespoon of cayenne pepper. Zip it up, massage that around. There you go. Let that sit about a ½ hour. We're going to throw it in the pan with some high heat and cook off the chicken. Make sure you get a little browning to the chicken. Set that aside. Let that rest for a little bit. We're going to use a cast iron pan and cook off the chicken with some oil. We'll start that next. I always start to heat up the pan a little bit ahead of time before you pour in the oil, but not too long. You don't want it to start smoking. Peanut oil, which has a high flash point. Go ahead and pour a lot in there. You want the chicken to fry a little bit. Add the chicken to the hot oil. Be very careful. I sort of throw them away from me. Get my hand out of the way quickly. I'm kind of crowding the pan a little bit more than I should, but I'm just going to make it in one batch. Save that flour right there. That'll help with the roux. Break these pieces up. Anything that's sticking together. You want everything to coat on all sides. Get a little crispy. It is nice to get a little bit of little brown bits in the bottom of the pan. I love using these cast iron pans. You can get the pan really hot without damaging the pan. It holds its heat well. Okay, the chicken's been cooking for about 3 minutes now. I think it's done. I mentioned about crowding the pan. We'll actually steam the crust right off the chicken if it's too close together. So in order to get it nice and crisp on all sides, you really have to have a lot of space for that steam to escape. Okay, I'm throwing in the andouille sausage. Let that brown. Done in a minute. Okay, same thing. It's been cooking for about 3 minutes. This is really going to add to the base for the roux for the gumbo. Now with vegetables, I always start with the order of what takes longest to cook. The onions are going to take the most amount of time. So throw those in first. Bell peppers next, right on top of that. There's bell peppers. The celery. Of course, we're not going to add the okra, so we put everything in the stock. Take a little of the flour that you have left over on the plate. We'll just sprinkle some more on there. Again, that's going to be making your roux. Stir it in. Turn that down now. Let that flour cook off a little bit. I'm going to add the andouille sausage right now. Add the chicken, add the crab. I'm still going to hold off on the shrimp till right before you serve it because it tends to get a little rubbery. So now I'm just taking out the ham hock and you know, the skins and the celery and everything we've thrown into the broth here. All I'll do here is pour this back through the strainer just to get the rest of the juice that came out with that. Pretty simple. We're going to take the andouille, add it. Next, the crab. That's where really all the seafood flavor comes from. So, whole pound of crab in there. You can see it's thickened up a little bit already. Filet is sassafras, and it's used a little bit of thickener, but you can't let it boil once you put it in. So this is just added at the last. Okay, so now we're getting to the point where we're adding the rock shrimp, and I'm just going to let that go. That nice, real low simmer. We don't want the shrimp to get rubbery. Again, we don't want it to boil. So we're just going to let it simmer at a real low heat like that. Should be great. Okay, we're down to the last of it. We're going to throw in the okra now. Let those simmer probably another hour like that, and we're ready to serve that over some white rice. Uncle Ben's converted rice. Perfect New Orleans favorite. It's third quarter in the Colts-Bears game. I'm going to get back in and enjoy it. Just want to let you know that the gumbo is on the stove. It's ready to go anytime. Serve it over a little white rice in a bowl. You're good to go. It's been great sharing another Super Bowl with you, and miss y'all. Here we are at Morganwood again for the annual Super Bowl. We're in Morganwood again for the Super Bowl dinner. February 4th. Of course, we're now playing the Super Bowl in February. Go figure. There we go. Okay, the game's just about to start. The problem is the battery went dead, so on the camera. Alright, I can't believe I turned around to charge the battery, and the opening kickoff goes, and Chicago runs it back for a touchdown. Amazing. Anyway, missed that. Halftime just started. Excuse me. Alright, so unfortunately there's an injury on the field, so we're going to move on to the chicken here. Flip it up. Massage it around. Make sure it's all evenly coated. Massage the chicken like this. So filet is, gumbo filet is sassafras, and it's, Prince, you know, Michael Jackson makes him look good. Anyway, what we're going to do is hold off on the chicken because it's breaded a little bit. Just dust it with a little flour, the cayenne pepper, and the garlic powder, and the shrimp because we don't want it to get rubbery, and of course the okra. I'll probably throw that all in the last hour. You could throw it in ahead of time, no big deal. Anyway. Stop. Okay. Here's what the chicken wings look like when they're done. They have a nice, sure caramelized look to them on the outside. Here's what the chicken wings look like when they're done. They have a nice caramelized look to them. I can't get my head out of the shadow there.